Hello, hello.
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 We have another special guest here with us today, Nick.
Yay.
We've got Nicole Hurd from Auvia.
Woo.
Thank you.
And I'm so excited to have you.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me. First off, loving the office, loving the vibes in here today.
Thank you.
I am so excited to talk about all things Auvia Health.
I can't wait to learn all about it because I honestly don't. This is going to be new and exciting to me, which I love.
Yeah, and you are the very first to hear about an actual name change that we just did recently.
Right, your name just changed.
So this
Very
is
cool.
new to the public. So this is a perfect opportunity to kind of shine light on the new name and just all the things that we're doing.
I love
here in the 920.
In the 920.
So here
I love
we are
it.
today.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, let's kick it off with our little intro.
In the know in the 920.
Fun. All right, here we are.
Woo.
It's like, I don't know. We lost count of how many episodes. You were asking us how many. We're definitely, well, I mean, towards the end of this year, we'll be wrapping up season 2 of In the Know in the 920. It's been a while.
So exciting.
I wanted to mention the astute viewer, our regular every week viewer, might notice that there's something different in the room this week.
What?
And it's this giant plant.
That is true. The plant is brand new. That is
But
new.
is there something else that's new?
Weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh,
We've got-
maybe it's our friend Skelly over here.
Skelly Davies.
Okay, for those of you that are listening and not watching the video, Skelly is our new, as of like 5 minutes ago, he was delivered from Target, pink skeleton.
Yeah.
And he's literally pink.
We are prepping for spooky season.
I had to get a couple of things. This is how this went down. I had to get a couple of things from Target, and I pay for like the yearly like delivery fee, whatever. So, I can get my deliveries. That's how I always tell my husband, like, it's not that much because I pay for it once. Okay. Yeah, he really doesn't buy into that very much, my girl math. But I had to get a couple of things really quick today delivered, and then I wasn't meeting the minimum for the delivery. So I'm like, let's look at the Halloween decorations real quick. And then I saw a pink skeleton and I was like, well, there we go.
Yeah.
Day's made.
It's for company purposes, right?
It really is.
Yeah. So
it's for
honestly,
the business.
There you go. That's a write-off.
It
I was just
totally,
gonna say
right?
that.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you so much, Nicole, for being here with us. I'm so excited to learn all about Auvia. So tell us everything. Let's start with what is this business all about?
Oh my goodness, how much time
We're ready.
do we have?
We're ready.
Okay. Yeah, so Auvia Health is really special to me. So first and foremost, let's just go back to the name change. So formerly, we were Empower Collective, and as of a week ago, we changed to Auvia Health.
Okay.
So when I started what was Empower, I really had a clear vision of, our mission and what we wanted to set out to do in terms of technology and what we were bringing to the market and to consumers. But there was just something that was keeping me awake at night, and it was really the name.
Sure.
And so I kind of used the power of the people and reached out to the masses to kind of do some trial and error. And so Auvia Health was born a couple weeks ago. Very special naming convention. It really means a golden pathway forward through voice, which encapsulates exactly what we are doing.
I love that.
Which is we're building a maternal mental health app that uses a bio voice or biomarker technology to really help couples up and overcome postpartum struggles that they might have during that time. So really passionate about it because I struggled with my own journey. So really it just unfolded from that, and now things are going great. We are busier than ever.
That's
just
so awesome.
Yeah.
So that's when you started, was after you, because I know before we started recording, you mentioned you have a 2-year-old?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So is that kind of when this whole journey started?
Yeah.
Okay.
So for me, I wasn't really prepared like I thought I was going to be.
Me either.
Yeah, weird, right? How that happens. So, of course, I did all the things you're supposed to do.
Correct. Read the book.
Read the books. I downloaded the apps. I did the things. I talked to my friends. Maybe not the best things to do, right? Because some of them are like, oh my gosh, it's, you don't know what you're headed to.
They scare you.
It scared me. And so what I found was I really entered into a prenatal depression at 26 weeks.
Okay.
And then I gave birth, and I was in postpartum for until about 9 months post-birth, which is a really long time to be in distress. And when I started, looking at it from a bigger picture of the gaps that we have today, which are, thinking about your own selves and your own parenting of like, who is picking up the phone at 2 a.m.? Your friends and family are sleeping. The doctor's offices are closed. Therapists are off the clock. So who is really there to catch you in those quiet moments?
Sure.
And if I may be very vulnerable.
Yes.
Those moments are moments between life and, other things. And so it really was dawned on me of there's no safety net, there's no support at the end of the day for people who are about to go into crisis.
Sure.
When there's no other available resources, right? And then I think the other thing that was really important that drew from my own experience is how do partners come together to come through the other side stronger and have good communication and transparency, right? This is a very raw, very vulnerable time, not just for the birthing partner. We always think about the birthing partner when it comes to maternity. And I think a lot of the guys get left out when we think maternity. And so what's unique about Auvia is we include the partner in that they can use the app independently.
Okay.
And it's for the birthing and the supporting partner. So, and it's really there to foster good communication. So there's no communication breakdown, to strengthen the bond of the relationship.
Sure.
So I guess to tie it all together is you can use it independently if you don't have a partner. But if you do have a partner, you can lock into each other's accounts and use it between both partners, which is really nice.
I love that concept.
Yeah.
I love that. That is so great. And listen, Nick is actually, he obviously works here with me, but he's also my brother, so he knows a little bit about my life. And when I had my first son, Jay, well, I only have one son.
When you had your
first child.
Yes.
That's what I meant to say. When I had my first child, Jay, I was living in Chicago. I grew up here. I was living in Chicago at the time, and I had been there for about 10 years, and I loved it there. I went to college there. I met my husband there, all the things. We had daycare picked out. I was going to go back to work after 3 months off, all the things, and we ended up here.
Yeah.
So, that's where my postpartum took me. I was shocked, amazed. Again, going back to reading the books and all of the things, I felt like I couldn't have been any more prepared than
absolutely.
I was. And I guess I was for that part of it. But then afterwards, I was shocked. I remember day 2, my husband and I were in the gift shop at the hospital. Jay had to stay for a couple of days because he was born a little early. So he was fine, but he was in the NICU. And I just remember being in the gift shop looking at something for him and just bawling. Not sure if I was happy, sad, what I was, but just so upset.
Yeah.
And then my mom had, all my family's here in the 920. And so my mom had come, and then she was leaving, and when she left, that was traumatic for me. And I remember looking at my husband, and I was like, I want to move back to the Fox Cities. And he was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And within 6 months, we were back.
Yeah, you
I made it.
Showed up.
We made it happen pretty fast. He's an IT guy, as I had mentioned to you earlier. So luckily, he was able to, get a job here pretty easily and things.
Yeah.
But it was a lot. The first 6 months was a lot.
Yeah, and that's just it too, right? So we can be the most diligent and proactive, and I'm a planner.
Yes.
I plan out everything, and so I felt the same way.
Sure.
I was like, I'm really excited for this moment, and this is going to change my whole entire life. And everybody talks about the joys of being a parent, and we're so hyper focused on this new journey, but we forget that with that comes the rawness, the vulnerability, the mental health, and so we really need to start proactively supporting our minds and our mental health through it, so that we can have on the other side strong foundations to raise these babies or to bring them into the world, right? And so that's exactly what was missing. Was we can prepare all day long, but no two pregnancies are alike. And that was my other thing too. So true. Oh my goodness, the apps that are out there today, they're really, in my opinion, one box fits all, and we really got to start looking at every individual as their unique being that they are, whether they are the birthing partner or the supporting partner.
Sure.
Each individual has their own lens and perception on their parenthood and their journey to parenthood.
Right.
And so we need to start, catering to those individualities, those personalities, health history, all this different stuff that goes into the makeup of who you are at your being, at your core, and then flex and fold into that. And I think that's the big piece that's missing today is we're expecting people to just, oh, this is a rite of passage.
Right.
This is just what happens. You'll come out of it. Don't worry. And we don't need to live like that. We can be proactive, and we can meet people where they are, and we can bring them to the other side.
I love that because it's you feel very lonely at times.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, that is so cool. I love it. Yeah. So was your background prior to this, was it in some sort of mental health, or was it completely, what were you doing before this?
Yeah. I feel like I lived 1,000 lives.
Me too.
This.
I always say that.
I'm like,
I've lived 3 lives. I grew up here. I went to Chicago. That was life 2. Came back here. Now I'm on life 3. I totally get you.
Yeah. So what's really cool about my journey, I think, is that I come from kind of the startup ecosystem world, but also from a technical background.
Okay.
So I've been working with technical teams for the past 8 years, building and deploying healthcare, patient-centric healthcare products.
Sure.
So really, when I had this idea, I was like, okay, I can get myself 90% of the way there, 60% of the way there. Whatever.
Sure.
I know that I'm going to need help. But it was good because I had the skill sets. I had the know-how of how to put the pen to paper and how to work the plan and make the plan and then put all the resources in the right places. And, navigating.
She's smart.
Navigating the startup community, which honestly, the 920, we have such an incredible startup ecosystem and resources and programs and people that I wouldn't be where I am today without them. And just to name a few, if I can,
please
let's call
do.
out the superstars. We've got
call them out.
We've got Generator, we've got New North, we've got Titletown Tech, we've got Tundra Angels, we've got, oh my gosh, the Starting Block down in Madison, we've got the Milwaukee Tech Hub, we've got the Wisconsin Technology Council, WIT, Women in Technology. My goodness, I'm probably missing some, but all of them are great resources for anybody starting out in their entrepreneurial journey. And truly, truly, honestly, I wouldn't be where I am without all of them. I've connected with each alliance in some way in my lifetime, past, present, or possibly future.
Right.
So all good assets to have.
Sure.
So yeah, that's kind of where my background
That's
sits.
awesome.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. So then this all came about 2 years ago.
Yes. Yep.
And where is it at today?
Oh, good question. So, Auvia Health is doing major things. So obviously we just had our name change. We moved from an LLC to a C Corp, which is really big for us in terms of growing and scaling.
Sure.
But really where we are today is solidifying that bio voice marker technology. So we're fully patented. We built the technology. So basically when you talk into the app is setting thresholds for each and every individual that uses the app, whether they're the birthing or the supporting partner. So over time, the app gets to know you like your best friend. So when you say I'm fine, the app knows you're really not fine. And the app knows that because we have clinical back data that kind of supports those, flags of you're headed towards XYZ.
Sure.
And so...
That is so smart.
That's cool.
I know.
Yeah.
I love that.
So we're being proactive in detecting crises before they become that crisis. And also can we just talk about the 6-week postpartum checkup?
Yes.
I don't know about you, but I'm not sure that I was totally honest in that 6-week postpartum
for
checkup.
Sure, right?
So.
No, it's always, it's kind of, it's one of those, it's just like how I always say, like, you meet somebody in the elevator and how are you? Oh, I'm good. I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's kind of,
Well, yeah, like, or the Quick Trip cashier. Nobody's going to be like,
right.
oh, my day's off.
You know what? It's actually been one of the worst, hardest days ever. Right.
Yeah.
Not very many people are going to be that forthcoming. So, yes, agreed. It's like you go to your doctor and you're kind of like, because again, it's like you feel like, well, this is what the check boxes tell me in the books that I've read, how I should be doing, or the Pinterest, or the Instagram pictures.
Oh yeah, the influencers,
right? The influencers, right? The highlight reels of our life that we see, or of other people's lives that we see. So yes.
So really, we're really working towards kind of, creating this sense of security where you feel like you can talk into this app and there's no, repercussions for what you're going to say. And so we do have safeguards. Let me just say that. We are building in a smart way where, if somebody were to be heading into a crisis, we do have safety guards in place, one of which we have smart alerts. So you get to opt in your support network, whether it's your brother. Your sister-in-law, your, whomever, your cousin, your best friend. So each partner, when they sign up through registration, they can opt in up to 3 people. So when you dip below your given threshold and the app is understanding that you're headed towards, whatever mental health ailment it might be, we will automatically, you have to opt in. We will notify your support network automatically. So here's another caveat. Help is coming to you. You're not asking for help.
I like
because that was really hard for me. I really kind of put walls up around myself where I wasn't as socially active as I once was. And some days were harder than others of, walking to the mailbox was way different than walking around the block for me when I was in postpartum. So the safety guardrails, those are the types of things that we're really actively pushing today. We're hoping to get into market, or go to market, I should say, winter of this year. So right around the corner. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we get there. All things are kind of aligned today for all systems go. So excited about that.
That's so cool. How many people roughly do you have working on this?
So today there's 7 active people total. I've really tried to stay small and lean throughout the process. If you know anything about Startup 101, dollars matter. So where you put your dollars
matter.
Well, maybe not just in startup, maybe just in life in general.
I agree.
Yeah, the dollars do matter. So I've been very diligent in trying to stay very small and lean and mighty in what we're doing, and it's hard too, right? Because you have to find a balance. We are dealing with PHI, we are dealing with HIPAA and certain regulations that we have to make sure that we have that security built into our infrastructure, and that's never anything you want to bolt on later in life. It's something that you should really be thinking about on the upper hand. And so 7 small but mighty team is I call us the Avengers.
I love that.
I really do. When we have our meetings, our weekly meetings, I say, let's unite the Avengers together. And so
that's so cool. No, I love that. Obviously, I think a lot of startups come from somebody sees a gap or a need, or you know what I mean, and then does something about it. But I really love that because it's so important. We need more people like you that do that kind of thing.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I really, if I would have any advice for anybody starting a business, it's really find something that you're solely passionate about, because I will tell you, that I still have a full-time job. I still am a mom, a full-time mom. And, you know, when my kiddo goes to sleep at night, the computer opens and I'm pivoting towards, you know, working with my team in the wee hours. So it's got to be something that you really are willing to go all in. The chips have to be all in. And this is something that was a non-negotiable for me. I really struggled in postpartum, and a lot of other people do too. I mean, the whole TikTok community is really where I found Solstice, in other people sharing their stories and being brave enough to share those stories. And I thought to myself, oh my goodness, we're actually in this pandemic of silent suffering. And why? How did we get here?
Right.
Why is speaking about your mental health or what you need or what you're struggling with such a burden or such a weight that now we are crying behind closed doors,
right.
and we don't have help at, access to help at our fingertips. I mean, think about some of the single moms who are working nighttime shifts, or, the dads that grew up to not share their feelings.
Right.
Or people who are living 200 miles outside of a rural area that maybe can't get to some of these access points.
So true.
And so this is what really Auvia Health was built for. It was built for filling in the gaps and making sure that we are a lifeline that is wrapping around the entire family unit. And mind you, family doesn't mean traditional families. This is, we are here to stand with whatever family looks like to you. If that's independent, if that's, anything outside of the traditional norms. We're here to provide that service and that support.
I love that. That's so great. That's honestly, and when you brought up like TikTok and things like that, I think that's the positive maybe about social media, is those that have opted to be more honest and real about how things are going, right? And everything isn't just a highlight reel. I know that I've really tried to focus on that in my own. I've even been to real estate conferences over the years where they're like, people want to work with successful people. And so you should post all, you get a new vehicle, you get this, you get that, you go on these trips, you do these things. And it's like, I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. I think people want to work with real people.
Well, the things that, stick with you is like, oh man, they had this go wrong, but look at them pushing on, Right,
exactly. And that's the thing. And so I love to, yes, I'll share a trip on social media that we went on because my mom wants to see the pictures of the kids at Disney or whatever, right? Shout out to Mom. We always call her out every episode. But at the same token, I also try to share not every downfall of my life, but at times if I'm struggling with something, because I think it's so important that other people know that it doesn't have to be so taboo. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, and I have been blessed enough to create a powerhouse community. So I don't know if anybody knows this, but the Facebook mom groups in the 920 are mighty, and they are loud. Shout out to my group. They are mighty. They're so strong, and they get together and they do so many things, and they just make motherhood so much more enjoyable. If you are not a part of these mom Facebook groups, go and find them. They're there. Reach out to me, because they are big people. And my people, I find Solstice in them. But anyways, I was doing some research, and I always ask the question to myself when I was, first starting out and doing a bunch of research of how did we get here, because I wanted to make sense of my own situation, right? And I think a lot of people go to social media because it's instant information.
Sure.
So if I'm waiting several weeks to see my OBGYN to talk about some of my feelings, or my therapist to talk about my feelings, when I can go to social media and I can resonate and I can relate to other people that are in my situation, whether they were in it and have come out of it, or they're actually in it along with me.
Right.
I get that instant gratification that I'm not alone. I get that instant gratification that I can come out the other side, or, that they somebody understands me. And
Yep.
I think that's what we all want at the end of the day. We really want to be heard. We want to be seen. We want to be understood of like what we're going through.
Agreed.
Because I will tell you, before pregnancy, I would say I lived a very happy, healthy life. Like I didn't have,
Sure.
luckily I
Right.
didn't have anxiety. I didn't have,
Yep.
anything like that. And then boom, it just hit me. And so I was like, why did I?
Oh, those pregnancy hormones
I was like, oh my
will
goodness.
take you on
Yeah.
a trip.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I think, that plays a big role of like the social media push to like share your
Sure.
story, because you get
Sure.
that instant
Yes.
stuff. And mind you too, like I think I want to just put this out there, if I
Yes.
may. This
Please.
is really important. I think, the way in which we're moving with AI, I get a lot of questions today about, oh, it's just another AI app. And I'll say this, that AI maybe comes with some taboo, but I think if we can use it in a smart way, and put guardrails where they're supposed to be, it can really help us in terms of things like we're trying to do with Auvia, which is to meet you where you are.
Sure.
And to provide that support when there's not support to be had in either those early mornings or behind closed doors or whatever it may be. And so the way in which our app uses AI, it really is there to become personalized to you.
Sure.
And so for those of you who might say, oh, I have to talk into this app, we've come a long way. We've got the Alexas, we've got the Google Homes, we're moving in this direction. But I think, building the trust
Sure.
that we are building in a way that we are keeping your safety and your security, your private information in your own hands. And
Sure.
we've done that through our proprietary technology. And so I think that was important for me to put out there, because we are sitting here today talking about vulnerability, and people, are going to hopefully be using the app and entrusting in it to say vulnerable things that they
Sure.
might not want to say to their partner, that
Right.
they might not feel comfortable saying to their doctor. So I'm here to tell you that as the leader of this company, I was there. And there are things that I didn't feel comfortable sharing. And so that was one of the key parts of when I started the company, that it had to be built in a way that we were earning trust, and we were able to become an allegiance and alliance with people,
Sure.
so that they do feel safe
I love
using
that.
it. Yeah.
I love that. And let's face it too. I think, sometimes when I'm a huge, outside of even today, we have a couple of charities that we donate money to every year, and I'm really big on mental health in general, because I've had all of not all, but I've had a lot of mental health issues over the years. I have had a lot, and I still do, and I always will. I'm not somebody that, my doctor, and I'm okay with that, but it's taken me a long time to ever open up or talk about it, because again, it feels like it was always so taboo. But, my doctor's like, Kelly, if you had diabetes, you would take medication for that for the rest of your life, right?
Yeah.
So you're probably somebody that's always going to have really bad anxiety, and you're going to take medication for it for the rest of your life. It doesn't just cure itself overnight, right? Anyways, I'm really big on just getting that out there, because I think that it's people are so nervous to talk about it. And a lot of times I think when people are in those moments of crisis, or even just feeling really low, it's the last thing they want to do is get up and get out of bed and go to an appointment and see a therapist.
Absolutely.
And et cetera, right? And so if they have this app, it's right there for them.
Yeah. And we really safety and security absolutely must have, that was a non-negotiable, but also taking the work out of it. So I know when I was in postpartum, like I said, walking to the mailbox was very different than walking around the block.
Yes. And that's when you said that before, that totally resonated with me, because it's you don't know what you don't know, until you've experienced it. And that can be so hard. That can be getting out of bed and doing something can be holy crap, I've accomplished something today.
Yeah.
And you feel like the rest of the world has done like 50,000 things, and you're like, well, I'm still here. Isn't that good enough for today? And it is. But it's, so I totally get it.
Yeah. So like I said, the convenience of it. So we have push notifications. So, I make jokes with my team. I want it, how you set your work alarm. If you want to silence it 4 times, 5 times before you actually like do something, let's give them 4 or 5 times before they actually do something, right? So you got those push notifications. And like I said, then from there, you're doing your daily check-ins. You're talking into the app. The app is understanding who you are, core to your being. So you'll go through registration, questions, health history, medication, stuff like that, just to really get to know and personalize the experience for you. And then the output of it is you're getting those real-time recommendations. You're getting the real-time support. Here's the coolest thing that we didn't touch on.
Okay.
Nick is in the room.
I'm excited.
Hi, Nick.
Hi.
Hello,
So
Nick.
I talked a lot about how a lot of apps today really focus on the mom and the birthing partner, right? So it's about time we shift focus to the men. Shout out to the men. I see you. And so I really want to acknowledge that the best part about this app is the men can use it independently, right? So this is a safe haven for them to share feelings that they might not want to share to anybody else, right? Even their friends.
I like that.
At the local, whatever.
Right.
And so, so not only do they have a safe haven to share their feelings, but they also each partner can opt in to send their daily entry to each other.
Okay.
And one would say, oh my gosh, like, why would I send that to them? It's going to start an argument. But it's actually the reverse. So if I were to say something, and, shout out to my partner listening right now.
Yes.
So if I were to say to him, speak into the app and say something like, my partner's driving me crazy. He just doesn't understand me. He's putting too much pressure on me, or, expecting me to do all these things and stuff. I might not want to send that to him.
Sure.
He might not walk through the door with loving arms.
Right. Might not be received real well.
Yeah. And on the flip side, same goes for the male partner. He might say, she's driving me crazy. She, I'm trying to work a job, and then I come home and I try to clean the house, and I'm trying to do all these things to lighten the load for her. And, so we really tend to say things to each other, and there tends to be a lot said. But most of the time, if we're really honest with each other, what's being said isn't very helpful. Let's just be honest, right? So the app will sparse and pull out what the other partner really needs to
get to the need of it.
Get to the need.
Yep.
So think about it as like a language translator.
Sure.
For partners.
Yes. This is great. Honestly, that is fantastic.
It's so funny. People are like, can we use this outside of like a pregnancy journey? And I'm like, you know what? You might be onto something. This might be like the new.
Well, I was honestly thinking that. I'm like, this could be really good for like so many times. Because there's just so many times where I think too, just, you say something, and again, you don't even necessarily mean it the way it comes out, but it's just the way it comes out, and then you're like, oh, darn it.
Yeah, so that is kind of the magic in it as well.
That
so
is
it does
so cool.
many things.
That is so cool.
If I really sat here all day, we'd be here for a while. So
that is
it really
so cool.
was built in a robust way. We checked all the boxes of all the gaps, but I think that one has to be my most favorite.
Sure.
Yes, they're all great because they're all like life-saving at the end of the day. It really is there to help support your mental health. But I think that transparency in partners is so important because we each have our own thoughts going through pregnancy of like, oh my gosh, I'm about to be a dad, or holy smokes, my whole life is about to change. And you have these unknown feelings, the territory of unknown, and some people just don't do well with that. And so we have to be mindful of each other and how we speak to each other and how we support each other. And I think, like you just said, we say a lot and then you're like, oh shoot, I need to go apologize. But if we have this like translator of like, Nicole, stated today that she's feeling very nauseated and she's feeling, she's got some headaches, she's got some low back pain. The app will actually give my partner the recommendation to maybe say something like, offer to cook dinner and maybe draw her a warm bath when you get home. So it's prompting the partners on how to truly help each other, not just through words, but acts of service and physical touch and all the love languages that we love, right?
Is there one that says maybe get her $1 million? I just curious.
I mean, we could maybe work that into the algorithm.
My husband, Bill, shout out to Bill. Bill, if you could just follow along with that, even though,
I'm curious how your translator would sound, because you'd speak in like, "Bow," and it would come out, "My dearest love, William."
Yes, I would be like, translator, please make me sound much nicer.
And that's the thing too, is it really just like sparses what's being said.
No, it's so smart. It really is smart.
Or anything like that.
It really,
no
that
sarcasm.
Is so...
Leave the sarcasm aside.
Yeah, no, I love that though. It really is very, very smart, because there's so many times too where I feel like, again, something gets said and you might not even really mean it like that, but it got said like that, and then it ignites something in the other person, and next thing you know,
yeah. And I'm not out here promising, solving the world's problems.
No.
So, I can just see
but
people back. You said that.
No. I think it could be really helpful in so many ways, including communication.
Yeah, absolutely. So, truly we're doing a lot of exciting things. I think this really is, and I know revolutionizing, they're all words that, are kind of fluff in some manner, but I do truly believe that we are out here pivoting the way we think about maternal mental health.
I love it.
In not just the birthing partner, in the supporting partner too, and how we are navigating, and the safeguards and the recommendations and the support in the hours that you don't, and the safeguards that come into place with it, with opting in your support network. I think all of these things is really, truly at my core, I really think it's going to change how we look at maternity and maternal health today. And I will say too that as of right now, we are going to market as a B2C.
Okay.
So consumers can go and download the app in Apple or Google Play Store.
Okay.
It is a subscription model, so you'll have to pay for the app, of course. But eventually in our long-term roadmap, and maybe not too far, there's some conversations already happening, but we would really like to partner with doulas and other partners of that like, because the doulas really have that close-knit relationship. They have more opportunity to create and foster that strong relationship. And so hopefully we'll start B2C and then move into that B2C, B2B. So that's kind of our longevity.
That's really cool. That's so cool. So what do you think has been like one of the biggest hurdles thus far that you've had to overcome, or something that you've learned a lot from as you've been doing all of this?
Oh my gosh, yes. It's been such a humbling experience. I almost want to, I really almost want to get a tattoo that says "Be humble," because it will humble you in such a gracious way of, you really don't know what you don't know until you're actively doing it and pursuing it. And then, I mean, this can be in so many different contexts of like, navigating the startup ecosystem that I had mentioned earlier before, and knowing who to go to and what resources you have to help you along the way. But even in the context of understanding, what how I should form the company, your business model, different networks of funding. So like angels versus the VC kind of route, to even things like inside, like, I come from a tech place, but when we're talking in the deep depths of, taking our clinical data and training our AI models, and, how that all comes together, and all the security and compliance, it's all learning moments. And I think like I said before, and I'll revisit it again, your chips have to be all the way in because you're gonna fail. You're gonna be told no. And it's the perseverance and it's the passion that's really gonna ignite you to
keep going,
to get where you want to go. Yeah. So I think that's been, that just being humble.
Sure.
Just knowing that you don't know it all and you're not gonna know it all, and you can't build a business by yourself, and you need SMEs, which are basically, people who subject matter experts, to bring them to the table and build something beautiful together.
I love that. Yeah, the idea can evolve from one person, right? But the execution of it is not. It's not a one person thing.
No, it's not. And I just think, coming from the 920, I am blessed enough to know the resources, but even if I may,
yes,
even outside of the 920, there's amazing networks,
sure,
colleagues, friends, mentors, that are surrounding the 920. And some of those people I have just recently met, some of those people I've known for so long. They've watched my entire journey, and I think it's building the network, because what Auvia stands for is support, right? It stands for that pathway forward through voice, but in its essence, it's support. And I think as an entrepreneur, you yourself need support. Shout out to my mom too.
Yay! We love our moms.
Yeah, we love our nanas. We love our nanas of the world, nanas and papas, because they really do help when I'm traveling for different pitch events, or different business meetings and stuff like that. So shout out to them. But you definitely need a support network, and I think navigating that and growing that over time, it's trust. It's fostering good relationships. So I think just navigating all of that.
Sure. That's awesome. You've learned a lot, right?
So much. Oh my gosh.
And that's what I think so much of this is about. And I completely agree with you on the being passionate about whatever it is that you're doing, because if you're not, it's going to be a lot easier, like you said, in those hard moments to give up. It's a lot easier to give up if you're like, well, I didn't really care about this that much. But if you care and you've got that fire, that changes it.
Yeah. I think the best piece of advice that I've ever gotten, and I don't know that it was necessarily advice. I think it was just more of more of an acknowledgement.
Sure.
Of if entrepreneurship and building a business was so easy, everyone would be doing it. And I think that's what really sets people apart.
It's so true.
And I want to be cautious with that too, because I am blessed to be able to have the ability to do it. Some people can't, merely because
agreed,
jobs and stuff like that. But I think just knowing that if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, and it is hard. So if you can just go into it knowing it is hard, there is different navigations, there are different milestones and mountains to climb, but it's all fun. So you and I had just talked about this, right? I had just said before we started this podcast, I asked Kelly, would you go back and do it all over again? Would you go back and do it all over again from ground zero? No.
Maybe. I wouldn't. Let's put it this way. I think the answer to that for me is twofold. Yes, I would go back and do it all over again to get to where I am today. I wouldn't reinvent the wheel now at my age. For example, I chat a lot about moving south when the kids are older. I would not start a new real estate company. I would go join somebody else's. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love doing this. So I have zero regrets about doing this, but I wouldn't want to do it all over again at my age now. Because I'm in my 40s, people.
Don't look a day over 25.
Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense, though?
But it's funny, though.
You would do it all.
I would.
Even like now, you would just do it all over again.
Because I've learned so much from so many different people.
Sure.
Again, I think my favorite of all of this, you know, I'm so passionate about it because of where I came from and like my own experience and really the philanthropy part of me of like wanting to change how we look at it, because truly the way we're looking at it is we're not even to par. We're not even at the par of like where we should be as a society of how we look at maternity and you know, maternal mental health. Absolutely, we're bringing life into the world. Right. You know,
right.
But I think for me, what I really love outside of all that is really the connections and the networking, because each and every individual that I've ever spoken to, whether it's a 5-minute conversation or a 20-minute conversation, I have taken something from them. Sure. Whether it's where they come from, how they got there, advice that they have for me. I've learned so much from so many different trailblazers, my fellow startup entrepreneurs that are kind of in the same lane of me right now of growing. I've learned from everybody, all walks of life. And I think that's the greatest gift that I could have had as an entrepreneur, is building the connections. And so with that, I would say I would go back and do it again from the beginning. Okay. Because I just have really loved the learning curve and the challenge that has come with it. And it's not even just about hearing their advice, but it's taking what they have to say and then going and applying it. And if you can do that and you can do it in a strategic way that fits your business and your company and stuff, I really think you could build the foundations of the building blocks of everybody else and really try to take it somewhere.
I agree. It's definitely an evolution. And like I said, I have zero regrets. I have learned more about myself and how I handle, and I will continue to learn for as long as I'm doing this. I'm sure there will be right? Yeah. It's never like all of a sudden one day you're like, well, today I have it all figured out, right? Yeah. But it's the beauty of it. Yeah. So
yeah, there's some days, don't get me wrong, there are some days where I'm just like, oh my goodness, you know,
what have I gotten myself into?
What have I gotten myself into? But no, I think, you know, some of the investors that we already have, so we do have investors that are invested already into the company, which is great. It's really just acknowledging that people believe in you and they want to see you go far. And so to bring it all back to the 920, there are amazing allegiances, partnerships, programs, everything that I've taken and I have learned. And it's knowing that those people believe in you, which is awesome. So perfect fit to be here today.
I think it's so great.
920, just to kind of give them a shout out too, because they really are a big part of.
That's awesome.
You know, our area.
And I love what you're doing. And so you said it'll be, it's coming to market. You said probably like the end of this year.
Yeah, slow and steady wins the race. I think
it does. It does. It sure does.
Yeah, it's my baby. So I just, fine, baby. Haha. My little pun for the day.
I love it.
My little pun for the day.
I love it.
Yeah, so I think for me, I'm not trying to be a perfectionist in any way. We'll definitely have to pivot once we get into market. That's definitely a non-negotiable as well, because the public speaks. And
absolutely.
If they have a problem, you're going to hear about it. And
for sure.
I'm fully mentally prepared for that. But yes, the hope is by the end of this year, but if not, indefinitely early spring of 2026. We just want to make sure, again, we have all of our checks and balances in place. And really just take our time getting to the market, but rest assured, it is coming. It's coming very soon.
I love it.
I can see
I'm
the light at the end of the tunnel.
For you.
Yes.
Let's definitely stay in touch, and we'll let everybody know too, because we send out a weekly newsletter too. We'll let everybody know once it's officially official.
So you can actually go and follow us.
Okay.
We are on Facebook. We are on LinkedIn. We are on Instagram.
Okay. How does everybody find you?
Auvia Health.
Okay.
So just type it into the little search bars. Stay connected with us. Also, new website is coming. So for those of you who are listening today who are like, we signed up, early subscribed to the app for launch date announcements. The website is down right now. It's going to go back up. We're just in the midst of a little housekeeping because of the name change.
Sure.
But eventually, I'll announce the new website as well. But for now, follow us, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Stay in the know.
And it's AUVIA, correct?
That is correct.
Did I get that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Just in case people are listening and they're like, how do I spell that?
Yes,
Auvia.
AUVIA Health.
Auvia Health. Very
Auvia
cool.
Health.
I love it.
A pathway forward through voice.
That is so neat.
Yes.
She's like a little genius right here, this one. I love it.
Oh,
no, I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. So congratulations to you and all you're doing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for chatting with us. And, well, Nick, what do you think? Should we talk about what's happening this weekend?
Yeah, do it.
All right.
Let's see what's happening this weekend in the 920.
Ooh, okay. I'll take number 1.
I think you should.
We've got The Hallows by Youth Go.
Woohoo! It's that time of year. It's spooky season.
Love spooky season.
Friday from 6:30 to 10 p.m.
Okay.
This is at Memorial Park in Neenah.
Okay.
This is 1131 Tuller Road, Neenah.
Not Memorial Park in Appleton.
No.
Memorial Park in Neenah. Okay.
And Memorial Park in Appleton has just been renamed to Veterans Memorial Park.
Has it?
I
did not.
Jinx.
In the know. In the 920.
You're welcome.
Okay.
So, The Hallows is a haunted trail walk through the woods of Memorial Park in Neenah. Oh, that's a nice little woods there. With the light of a single lantern, it'll be your challenge to survive what waits for you in The Hallows and find your way out. Admission is $10 to be purchased at the event, only $5 with a valid student ID. Youth Go, of course. We did an old In the Know episode there like 3 years ago. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We sure did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a fun
that's awesome. Very cool. I think that'll be a lot of fun. All right, well, just in case anybody was wondering what's happening, downtown College Ave this weekend.
Yeah.
Just this tiny, small little, there's usually like 3 or 4 people that show for Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest.
Woo. Yes. Downtown
Are
College
we at that time already?
I know. Can you believe it?
Oh, my goodness.
So actually Friday night, right, Nick, is the Friday night is not
always
on here,
preceded.
but it's the cars.
Yeah.
What do we call that?
License to cruise.
License to
Thank
Cruise.
you. My
Goodness.
goodness.
I kept wanting
It
to
was
say Mile of Music, and that wasn't right.
It was escaping. License to Cruise, Friday evening.
Yes.
Saturday, Oktoberfest. It's from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Music starts as early as 9, along with arts and crafts, the family fun area. Don't forget about all the great food booths. Do you remember we had, Nick, we had somebody from... Oh, I don't know if it was the chamber on somebody that told us, I mean, Oktoberfest, I didn't know this. I learned this through our podcast, is such a huge fundraiser.
Yeah.
Huge fundraising event, which is
Huge.
awesome. So I love that. That's fantastic. So get out and enjoy Oktoberfest. I know that there's like a little kid area and there's all kinds of stuff going on there. So definitely get out and enjoy that this Saturday. What do you got, Nick?
Okay, so I've got Kid Quest Fest,
Okay.
also on Saturday. This is from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. At The Hive, which is N474 Eisenhower Drive, Suite E, Appleton. So that's got to be very close to us here.
Very
I
close.
just can't think of where that would be. Join us at The Hive on September 27th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for Kid Quest Fest benefiting Children's Wisconsin. This event is all about the kids, and we've packed it with fantastic activities. Kids can get their very own tattoo.
Oh, my daughter would be in on that.
Yeah, they can choose a stencil, and I'll bring it to life with vibrant tattoo markers. But that's not all. We've got face painting, permanent jewelry, balloon animals, and so much more to keep the smiles going all day long. Bring your little adventurers for a day full of creativity and joy.
That's
Might
fun.
have to end up
Yeah,
on my
see?
daughter.
Kid Quest Fest. Do you know, I always say this, but it's so true. Like, I read things on here and learn about things that I would not have known about otherwise. This past weekend, Bill and I went to the Harvest Fall Fest in Menasha, Nick, that we talked about
Yes.
on our last week's episode. It was a
Yeah.
great little, like, Kind of like a little farmer's market vibe, downtown Menasha.
Yeah,
which
I was
downtown
trying to
Menasha's
drive through
super
Menasha.
cute.
I totally forgot about it. I
Did
was
you?
going, what the heck is it? All these
We
people.
went to it. It was so cute. All these little crafts, and it was adorable. So we
That's
always
where
try
you can
to
find me.
do
I am
things.
always all about the crafts
me
and the
too.
homestead and the
Me
baked goods.
too.
Bring me
Do you know
all
what
the
we
apple
did
pie.
after we went to the Fall Fest? We went to the at-home store, and then we went to WGNR, and then we went to Uncle Mike's and got some Kringle. And I just felt like it was the perfect day, really, overall. Yeah. I got a new chair at WGNR. I got some Halloween decorations at the at-home store. It was a great day.
I do have to say, just really quickly, Uncle Mike's just opened up their second location.
Yes.
So excited because
Yeah.
this is my
Right
side
over
of
here.
town.
Yes.
And so now I can get there and I have a reason
I'm
to
pumped.
Yeah, we
indulge
pretty
in
much
more
have to
sweets.
pass it on the way home.
Yep.
It's unfortunate.
Oh, darn. Gonna have
Yeah.
to stop at Uncle Mike's. Yes, I know. I'm so excited. All right. Let's see. Family Astronomy Day this Saturday at noon at the
sounds
Barlow
awesome.
Planetarium, which is 1478 Midway Road in Menasha. Celebrate Family Astronomy Day. Now, my son would love this. This Saturday, you can grab tickets to enjoy afternoon and evening star shows. You can also get in on some free fun with telescope viewing and hands-on activities. There's no tickets required, so you can just show up. And then there's a whole schedule. 1 o'clock, 2:30. Ooh, 2:30 is the Taylor Swift Family Laser Show. Oh, boy. There's a 4 o'clock show with Space Aliens, a 6 o'clock show, a 7:30
Aliens.
show, and then a rock laser show at 9 p.m. Pink Floyd double feature. That's pretty cool.
Dang.
That would be really neat. Very,
That's
very
neat.
cool. And then one more, Nick. What do you got?
Yeah, so our final event for this weekend, Patchwork and Pages, a fall gathering. Sunday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's at the Timber Lounge, 100 South Birch Street, Kimberly.
Very cute space.
Yeah, it's a very neat space. Come enjoy a cozy morning where you leave with a new favorite read. Craft a custom-designed accessory you'll actually use and snack on fall-themed snacks and drinks. Your ticket includes your choice of one book, People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young, or If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia, or The Gingerbread Bakery by Lori Gilmore.
So you get to
Maybe
pick a
people
book.
have heard of these.
I am reading that book right now.
Which one?
The Gingerbread Bakery.
Is it good?
Really?
Yes. That whole series.
Is it great?
I'm obsessed.
You like it? Okay.
Cool.
Good to know.
Well,
Good
there
to
you
know.
go. Well,
so you get to
stop
choose a
online.
book.
There's a hands-on project where you will customize either an embroidered tote bag, a Kindle Paperwhite cover.
Very cool.
It's just those two things.
Okay.
You'll design your own patch layout, and we'll heat press it on site so you leave with a finished, ready-to-use piece. Sip on apple cider mimosas or other NA options,
Perfect.
and enjoy seasonal snacks while you create in the warm, inviting atmosphere at the Timber Lounge. Admission is $65.
And that's this Sunday, right?
This
From 11 to 1.
Sunday.
That sounds really, really cool. There's a lot of great things happening once again this weekend in the 920. And, we would be remiss if we didn't mention what I'll be doing.
What are
this
you doing on Saturday, Kelly?
And what Justine, our team manager, who's been with us for 7 years, I think,
It must
is
be longer
doing
than
this
that.
Saturday.
Oh, 7 years.
We love her. She is near and dear to me. I am standing up in her wedding.
Oh, exciting.
On
Yay,
Saturday.
Gibber.
We won't say where because we'll keep it, we don't need all of our fans showing up to the wedding.
That's
Yeah.
super
It is
exciting.
happening.
Congratulations.
In the 920. We're so excited for you, Justine. We love you. And I'm excited to dust off my bridesmaid shoes because I haven't been a bridesmaid in a while. So I get to do that again this weekend. So we hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. And thank you again so much, Nicole, for being here. I love what you're
you.
doing. We're going to stay very much in touch with you, and
Oh,
we're going to
thank
know
you.
exactly when it comes out.
You will be
And
the first to know.
I love it. Thank you. And have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye, Internet.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. To contact the Kelly Davies Homes team for all of your buying and selling needs, call 920-791-9047. Find us on Facebook at the Kelly Davies Homes team or go to kellydavieshomes.com.